This is my science video and it is about the evolution of communication. Before we start, we have to ask ourselves, what is communication? Well, communication is the exchanging of signs, words, or information with other people. There are two types of communication, verbal and non-verbal communication. Verbal communications uses language, words, sentences, and anything to do with your voice, while non-verbal communication uses body language, facial expressions, and writing, and stuff that don't include your voice. The first form of nonverbal communication were cave paintings, and they were used about 63,000 years ago and were used to tell stories to others. Next were smoke signals. These were used to alert people from far away and were used around 900 BC in China. You can see that evolution is already happening because smoke signals were more visible to others than cave art. See evolution because we know that probably the language is also changing. Next were carrier pigeons, and these were pigeons that would carry information to other people through letters, and these were used in 5th century BC up until the medieval ages. Next were postal systems, and these were used to deliver things to other people as quickly as dependable as possible. They were used around 2000 BC in Egypt, but weren't that used until 1505 during the time of the Roman Empire. Next were newspapers, and these were to tell people the news of their local area. Next was the printing press, and this was invented during the Renaissance time, and this helped people be more educated as it helped the spread of information more quickly around the world. Now we can talk about verbal communication. Before we learn about verbal communication, we need to learn about how sound works. Sound is created from the vibration of an object. These vibrations travel to other objects, which carries the sound along by the vibrations hitting off an object. Sound can travel through air, water, and solids as long as the surface allows the vibrations to bounce off of it. We are now introduced to radios. Radios were made possible because radio and EM waves. Radio waves are composed of the electromagnetic carrier waves as amplitude modulation or AM, or as frequency modulation or FM. EM waves and FM waves would use the antenna to connect to each other and would use the curvature of the earth to connect. And without FM or EM or antennas, we would have no long distance communication, which means no radios, no TV, or no phone calls. These waves connect radios as well and use the spread of information just like the newspaper. The next form of verbal communication is the telegraph, and the telegraph would allow people to communicate on a long distance and well better than any written message that would be long distance. Next was the telephone, which was invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. This helped people communicate to each other by talking to each other of a distance. They were helped by wires outside their house. The phone soon started evolving into the thing we have today in our pockets, which is an essential part of our lives. This is helped by the internet, which I will be talking about soon. The next invention is television. This was in the shape of a box at the time, which was used for entertainment and still is to this day. And it was used for the spread of information and news. The television also kept evolving, which is now in the shape of a flat screen TV that most people have. The last invention is a very popular one, which is the internet. The internet used to be really slow back when it was invented, but now has gone faster and faster. The internet is used to search up information, communicate to each other through emails, text, messages, and social media, which is how I can talk to you now. Social media can spread information and helps people communicate, which is how the telephone got really popular. Communication has come a long way from the day that our ancestors were born. I'd be lying to you if I said that communication wasn't important and didn't play a vital role in our evolution.